What's up? I want to do an NBA video response to Michael Sowell. I do response to him. I like debate this dude, but I like him. I think he's a cool dude. It's more like a fucking whatever that Skip Bayless other dude show is. It's all good. He's a big Bulls fan, so I need him about that. But he just put up a check out his channel, Michael Sowell. Guy knows a lot about hoops. So he just put up a video about saying that Jordan killed the Tracy McGrady for Scottie Pippen deal after the '97 season, and he goes in on Krause and whatnot, saying that would have been a dumb deal, Jordan killed it and everything, and I could not disagree more. I think it would have been a great fucking deal, and I think Jordan fucked up yet again for killing that deal. And although I don't like Krause, yeah, he's definitely just a fucking weird, chest of the molester, definitely like shoves Twinkies down his gullet, jerks off to animal porn. That dude's a weirdo for sure. I don't like him, but he's definitely one of the greatest GMs. He's the best GM of that era, and he's one of the best GMs, I think, of all time. Do GMs make mistakes? Absolutely, they all do, except for Red Auerbach, And I know the whole he wanted to prove it was his team and all that and everything. The thing with Bulls fans, they get too emotional, like they're too caught up in the Jordan thing. So if Jordan hates a guy, I gotta hate a guy. I have no idea why you guys hate Krause. That man is integral. Without Jerry Krause, you don't got no rings, dude. You probably don't even have one ring without Jerry Krause. Okay. And yeah, I mean, I guess it was sticking up for Jerry Krause, but again, I could care less about Jerry Krause. But a lot of you guys don't like him because Jordan doesn't like him. It's that simple, Let's talk about the trade first before I get into Krause, okay? So it's after the '97 season. The Bulls just won their 5th title, okay? Krause wants to, trade Pippen for McGrady, okay? And, Mike says, that would have been stupid because they did win the title the next year and McGrady was coming out of high school. I get all that, okay? However, if you remember back then, Pippen had already said, I'll never play for the Bulls again because he was like the sixth highest paid player on the Bulls or some shit, And he's like, I don't care what they give me. I'm not playing for the Bulls. This is it, blah, 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 after next year, So, anyways, look, when you get a player back then, usually got him for about 7 years, okay? You signed to a 7-year contract because you could back then. So let's just assume that McGrady would have been with the Bulls for 7 years, from 1998 to 2005, okay? Versus Scottie Pippen from 1998 to 2005. It was a feeble Scottie Pippen, average Scottie Pippen. The first year or two he was all right, but as soon as he landed in Houston, started going downhill, averaging 12 points a game when he went to Portland and everything. And so Pippen in the last twilight of his career versus, a prime McGrady coming up. That 7-year McGrady was way better than that 7-year Pippen. That trade to me is an absolute positive no-brainer. Yes, you're probably not going to win the title the next season, but you might. And if you say there's not a chance we win the title next season, well, then you're taking away from Jordan, and you're saying what I say. Well, Pippen is just as important as Jordan in winning the title. You're going to admit that if you say that. But I don't think they would have won it, the next year, right? But so all of a sudden you got this, okay? You make that trade. The next year, they play. Jordan might have retired, even if Jordan did retire. The year after that, you had nobody, okay? With McGrady, okay, Pippen's gone, Jordan's gone. Right away, you got a franchise player. It's a business. So you go from Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen franchise players to Tracy McGrady, just like that. Smooth transition, The Bulls are current. They mean something still. You know what I mean? You can build around them, okay? All that, You yourself, Mike, gush over Tracy McGrady. You like Tracy McGrady. Me and you don't really agree on Tracy McGrady that much. I think his name carries way more weight than his game because of the sneaker contracts and everything. I think he was a very, very good scorer, but I don't think he was, an all-time great by any means. But, that's opinions. But, yeah, even in hindsight, if you're going to look back in hindsight right now and say you wouldn't make that trade, you wouldn't give up one of your championships, and again, you still might have won it, for having McGrady for the next 7 years versus, Pippen, who you lost. He left after the next year. You got nothing for him, okay? That's a no-brainer. That trade's a no-brainer. And once again, Michael Jordan screwed it up, okay? Dude, again, this is another Jordan thing. The Jordan people are going to hate to hear this, but, dude, it's facts. if I got a team, an NBA team, and I'm an owner, and I'm sitting here right now, and I'm about to make a pick, and Jordan is sitting next to me, and Krause is sitting over here, I'm not asking Jordan who to pick. I'm asking Krause. Do you want to know why? Because Krause knows the game of NBA basketball better and talent better than Michael Jordan. I'm sorry, it's a fact. Look at these terrible decisions Michael Jordan makes, dude. You know, I mean, it's fact. Was Michael Jordan a great player? Yeah. You know, am I a Jordan hater? Nope, I'm really not. But I just don't get how you guys, like, you know, hate Krause. Well, I mean, I do. I get how the casual Bull fans hate, you know, but I know that Michael knows a lot about basketball, and I respect his opinion. But dude, if it wasn't for Krause, I mean, dude, again, now back to Krause being one of the best GMs of his era, dude. He didn't get lucky with Scottie Pippen. He got him like 5th or 6th. I know the whole Seattle thing and everything, but he's the one that got him. Okay? Dude, the man got Scottie Pippen and Horace Grant. Right there. Those 2 picks cements his legacy as it is, no matter what he did for the rest of his career. The guy got Horace Grant and Scottie Pippen, bro. 2 guys that might even not even got drafted. 2 guys that without them, you're not winning those titles, dude. You know? The first 3, you know, Grant, you're not winning them. You know, he didn't get lucky. You know, he didn't go to Central Arkansas and scout a guy and you get lucky. No, dude, you know, this guy knows how to scout, right? Period. And he got Grant. And, you know, you can, right there, boom, end of story. The conversation is over. He should never have to buy a beer in Chicago again. He's just as important to that team as anybody not named Jordan. Just as important as Pippen, just as important as Jackson. And speaking of Jackson, he hired Phil Jackson, dude. You know, he brought in guys all throughout that thing that were perfect for the triangle offense. And, you know this, Michael, but a lot of people don't know. These little key guys are so important in winning titles, man. You know, a lot of people see the sneaker commercial and all that shit, and you're like, you know. And, but these shooters and this dude off the bench and this rebounder, they mean a lot. You're not winning the title, dude, you know, without these guys. You got to put pieces of the puzzle together to win an NBA title, man. It's not just a couple superstars, you know, in a cloud of dust, man. You got to have the right pieces, and Krause always brought the right pieces. Has he had some bad drafts? Yeah. You know, everybody's had bad drafts. You know, every GM has made terrible moves except for Red Auerbach. I don't think he's ever made a bad move except for, you know, drafting Len Bias. So yeah, I mean, I remember when he traded Oakley for Bill Cartwright. Now, you know, Oakley was Jordan's best friend on the Bulls, and he traded Oakley to the Knicks for Bill Cartwright. Now, if both those players are, you know, in their prime right now, I would probably take Oakley on my team. However, Bill Cartwright was the perfect guy for that triangle offense, and Bill Cartwright played D against Patrick Ewing better than anybody in the league. He didn't own Ewing, but he played the best D against Ewing, and that's what they needed in the playoffs. And he was the perfect guy for that triangle offense, and they won 3 titles with him. So that trade worked out good. However, there was a first rounder also in that trade, and the first rounder turned out to be Rod Strickland. But, you know, Rod Strickland would have never lasted in a triangle offense as great as a point guard as he was. He just wasn't made for that. So, yeah, man, I mean, I just think you're sadly mistaken, you know. Saying this with friendship and everything is, you know, a little debate here and everything. I think Jerry Krause was an excellent GM. I know the ego and all that shit, but these are stories you read, man, you know. You know, the Eddie Curry, Tyson Chandler pick, you can't really blame him for those because every single person on the planet was saying that. You know, so when there's an NBA bust like that, you can't blame a GM unless he reached. Like, okay, the Warriors in '95, they picked Joe Smith number 1, and he was a bust, right? But you can't blame the Warriors for that because every single person on earth was like, well, this draft's kind of weak, and Joe Smith's the clear-cut number 1. You know, McDyess was the 2. Joe Smith was the 1. I would have flip-flopped and taken McDyess, but you see what I'm saying? But yeah, all the people in Chicago, they hate Jerry Krause because of one thing, because Jordan hated Jerry Krause. If it wasn't for Jerry Krause, you guys aren't walking around with all those rings on your fingers, and there's a very good chance you're walking around with 0 rings on your fingers. And you can't tell me in hindsight you wouldn't have rather had Tracy McGrady from 1997 to 2005 or nobody because Pippen was gone. And maybe not won the title, but you might have won the title. Jordan's so great, you know. I don't know. Let's keep talking hoops. Check out Michael Solo's channel. Dude definitely knows his hoops. All right, man.